Hello there. Welcome to another live episode of Be the Boss of Your Money. This is the place you come to learn about personal finance, investing, business. But today we're doing something a little different because I have a really cool guest. He's a creative. He's not the type of person I get to hang with every day. So I'm hanging out with him for the first time virtually, but I'm going to bring him to my entire audience because he's all about the whole digital agency content thing, and it's just like the biggest thing going on social media. It's the biggest thing going on YouTube. So my guest is Joey Gelfand. Really nice guy. I've been following him on social media for a long time. We've been going back and forth with direct messages about getting something like this together. We can finally do it. He is the brand director at Viola Media, and I'm going to just roll the intro really fast. I have to do this. And before you know it, he's going to be on the screen. You are not going to want to miss this because I'm going to be asking him some serious questions. So if you are a content creator, an aspiring content creator, or you think content creation or any of this stuff would be important for your business, you've got to step it up. So here we go. Hey, we're live with Joey Gelfand. What's up?
How are you? That was the fanciest introduction that I've ever had in my life. So thank you so much.
I have to say, coming from you, that's actually a pretty nice compliment to get because you are brand director at Viola Media, and you're doing like digital work. You do the SEO, you do it all. You're, I guess, full service. But you're doing this video stuff and you're bringing companies into like the 21st century.
Yep.
Before we were on air, Jesse, I was going to start with tell me a little bit about yourself, but I'm going to skip that because, we're in a suburb, we're in Long Island, but there are a lot of similarities to other suburbs. So for everyone out there in a suburb, you were saying before that you're surprised how behind the times in a way Long Island is because we're not in the the urban center.
Yeah, I would say that most of Long Island is exclusively comprised of small to medium-sized businesses, right? You don't have these larger businesses here, as much as you do as in Manhattan or a developed city, right? So a lot of times things like creative and marketing and things of that nature kind of fall to the wayside because some of these smaller companies just don't have the budget for it. So historically, we've always seen Long Island a little bit behind the curve as it comes to content creation, content marketing, digital marketing, and things like that. So we started up Viola Media about a year ago, and we kind of really just saw this need to kind of up the level of content on Long Island and bring that to the table. And that's where we're at now. And it's been pretty successful for us so far, God willing. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, did you guys ever think about going to the Big Apple, or was it always
local to Long Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of freelance work in Manhattan. I find it over there a very oversaturated market. I think that a lot of people have this idea that there's not a lot of business development that happens here on Long Island, and they fall into this Manhattan spell. And like I said, they go over there, they enter an oversaturated market. And I think here now on Long Island, there's a lot more opportunities and there's a lot more big business growth. And I think for the millennial generation, especially, we're fostering a lot more creativity and business growth here. So this was just like the right time and place to do it. And some of the businesses that we're working with, they have a lot of millennials and Gen Xers who are entering decision maker roles. And kind of understand the industry that we're in a bit better, and they can educate a lot of the C-suite and their companies on that as far as the value goes. So for us, it was a no-brainer to stay here on Long Island and try to be involved with the developing business here.
Are you a Long Islander? Like, did you grow up here?
Born and raised in Nassau County. I am living in Babylon in Suffolk County right now, so that's a little bit of a switch for me. But
right north of there, sure.
Oh yeah. Yep. But
you
look at places like the Hauppauge Industrial Park, which is the second largest industrial park in the country. There's so much opportunity right here, right at home on Long Island, and people just got to go out there and grab it.
Right. I'd imagine it's like that for a lot of suburbs. But I want to apologize, Joey. I just got a text from my wife, and she said, I think you called him Jesse. I don't know why. My daughter happens to be Jesse. My last name starts with a G. Maybe that's why. And apologies if I called you Jesse. It's Joey Gelfand, the man, the myth, the legend, brand director of Viola Media, right here, homegrown on Long Island.
Yep, and Jesse Viola cuts the checks over here, so if you want to call me Jesse, I'm cool with that too, either way.
Okay. Maybe that's where I got it from, because Viola Media, named after Jesse Viola. Okay, yep. So now I'm going to get into so tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you become, the way I think of you is you're a content creator, but you're the person on the other side of the camera.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm used to being in front of it. You're on the other side. So how did you get into this space? What makes you tick?
Right. So, right out of college, I worked over at the HIA, the Hauppauge Industrial Association. So I got really involved in the whole, networking and meeting business people and kind of leveraging business and your networks with business professionals. Right. And then from there, I worked over at an agency for a couple of years. I was working as a print designer, doing things like brochures and print ads and magazines and things like that. A lot of traditional advertising, and then just being myself as a millennial, we tend to be a little stubborn to the traditional ways. And I've always been very involved with social media and the digital space. So I started getting a little bit involved in social media advertising, content creation. And something that I had noticed, entering that space in the digital marketing world was a lot of businesses were using a lot of things like generic stock images and the same buzzwords over and over again. And there was really no human element involved in their content.
I was going to ask you that. How do you help someone make content? Not everybody's comfortable in front of a camera. So, it's like, how do you get someone to make content, or how do you help your client make content where they don't come off like robotic or overly scripted?
Right. Yeah. It's funny. We get that question a lot. People are always talking to us saying, well, what if I'm not comfortable in front of the camera? What if I'm awkward? And we always talk to our clients about something called micro influencers. So micro influencer is identifying somebody in your company or organization who has a very dynamic personality. They are a funny person. There's somebody who's comfortable. There's somebody who's confident, and entrusting them to kind of, be the image of your brand. So that, that's one step that we take. A lot of times too, we have clients who say, well, I have Stacy who's at my office. She's a really dynamic person, but should I trust her representing my brand? Because what if she leaves my company? And I think that's a mindset that we have to get ourselves out of as we're going into the 2020s. You shouldn't have employees at your job with the thought that they're going to leave. You always want to work with employees where you can say, this person is, out for the best interest of my company, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make them happy. So we have a mutual, beneficial relationship where they're not going to leave. Right?
Sure. By the way, folks, the people out there watching this, if you're watching this during the live stream, like right now, we would love to answer your questions. So hit us up in the comments. We'd love that. And, words of encouragement are always appreciated. If you're watching this in the replay, welcome to you as well. And we will see your questions. So go ahead and ask them as if you were watching us during the live stream, and Jesse would love to answer them. All right. How do you, I really like the term micro influencer, because all you hear is influencer, and you're thinking of like Kim Kardashian or somebody with millions of followers.
Right.
But micro influencer is like, I'm thinking like in terms of in your own geographic region where you do business, whether if it's outside of Chicago, outside of LA, outside of New York City, it could be in Westchester County or Long Island, it doesn't really matter. You're kind of in a smaller region, a smaller geography, or a smaller pond. So I feel like a micro influencer is a way to become kind of like a bigger fish in a small pond, maybe.
Right, exactly.
And be, be well known within your community.
No, absolutely. We see clients where, we'll have clients who have somebody on their sales team, right, who is a very dynamic person. They have an infectious personality that everybody loves. Yet you go on their LinkedIn page or their social media presence, and all you see is what? Maybe they share some articles and a headshot. I don't know who this person is unless I meet them in person, right?
Right.
So, something like what we're doing here, hopping on a camera, having these types of conversations, taking that to a next level of not being a robot and being a human being online it's really important to business development. People want to work with people that they like.
People do business with people, not businesses.
Exactly. Right.
This is why, like in my industry, when a financial advisor leaves a firm, the clients typically follow the financial advisor because people are doing business with the advisor, not the firm. I mean, that's the way I see it. So what is it like shooting a video? Like, describe the scene. Like, you've got cameras, you've got lights, you've got batteries and wires all over the place. Like, and how many people go? What is it like? And how long does it take? And what's the preparation to get into it? I know these are big questions that have a lot of big answers, but squeeze it, compress it.
Yeah. So from a 30,000 foot point of view, it's very hot because the equipment gets very warm. We can go into a whole conversation about how the lighting is set up, how the cameras are set up. I would have to say that the most difficult part of filming and creating content for clients is the actual story and developing the creative in that sense. When we sit down as a team, there's about 6 of us. We have to come up with different ideas and different concepts for a client commercial. That can get a little frustrating and a little scary because we worked with a client in the past, a limo company, where they wanted to go for a bit of a comedic approach for their commercial, right? And I've never been in a situation where my work meeting was sitting in a group of people and trying to figure out a funny situation that we can record as a commercial. It's having different creative heads clashing together and bumping together in a meeting is the most difficult part for us. But it's the most rewarding because I think
it's the most fun part to me.
It really is. It really is. So for example, we worked with a limo company last year, and they've run commercials in the past. They've done content in the past, and their content's always been the same. We have beautiful limos. We're the best in customer service. Call us today. Have unforgettable memories. And we kind of flipped that on their heads, and we said, instead of throwing out these generic buzzwords that everybody hears.
Generic. We have great customer service. Everybody says that.
So what we did is we made a commercial for them that poked fun at a psychotic, crazy bride on her wedding day, where she was being a bridezilla. She was, being irritating and annoying everyone. And it was funny because we added a human element to their marketing. And I think that's the key to success here. And that's why we've been so successful, is because we are breaking down the facade of don't be scared to be human. Don't be scared to have flaws. Don't be scared to poke fun of things, because when people see that, it develops a level of trust for them and it makes them like your brand.
I hate to throw out another buzzword, but I'll throw it out there anyway. Relatable.
Exactly. No, it's true. It's true. It's really true. You can post on your Facebook page.
I have my notes here, by the way, with my questions. Problem is, I could barely read my own chicken scratch.
Listen, but I don't want to expose them on camera. So.
You could put them up. Go ahead.
I got some of these.
Good luck. Good luck deciphering my notes. I could work for the CIA with my handwriting. I mean,
Right.
I find that, I don't know if it's just because the people I am attracted to on social media are content creators, but I do see my timeline the quality of the media I call it media on my social media timelines, especially LinkedIn. It's getting better.
Better. Yep.
Much better. And it's not necessarily polished, but it is getting crowded also.
Right.
And I'm happy to say I'm contributing to that crowded aspect of content. So is it more like the same people are creating 90% of the content, or is it just more volume of people, greater numbers?
Well, listen, I think as anything gains popularity, it's going to just end up getting oversaturated after a while, right? I think now, especially in the LinkedIn space, people can't go on sales meetings anymore. We're in the midst of the pandemic, so people have kind of propelled themselves into the digital space, whether they like it or not, which is a good thing because we're seeing a lot more content. But like you're saying, that's a bad thing because now we're getting overpopulated by content, right? But you know what? I can't talk too much on what the future of that looks like because I'm not really sure. But what I will say is that if you're consistent with it and you're genuine and you have good ideas and you have good topics, and just going back to what you were saying before, if you're relatable and you have that infectious personality, then you have nothing to worry about.
Well, I have a great topic. It's two words, Joey Gelfand. And folks, we are speaking with Joey Gelfand, and I'm really happy you were here. We've got a couple people at that. Michelle just said, love that. I don't exactly remember where we were but I'm glad you love that. Thank you so much, Michelle. You are such a good friend. Michelle is a really good friend of mine. I don't know. Do you know Michelle Blum?
I do not, but I will.
Trish Mish. Well, we'll have to make some introductions. Okay. We are, I'm very heavily networked, and I'd love to introduce you to the network. What is the difference between I have a little fuzz here. I'm like that, I see something like that. What is the difference between branding and marketing?
So that's actually a question that we get asked often.
You see, I hit one good. Yeah.
And
over the ballpark.
It's funny because some people will tell you that branding and marketing are one and the same, but it's not. Your marketing is all the tools and the collateral that you use to sell a product or service, right? Your branding is the personality of your company. It's the way your company looks. It's the way your company feels. It's the way your company sounds. And something that we talk about often with our clients is this concept of brand unity and making sure that every avenue that you're advertising down, your branding stays exactly the same. If you have a serious tone on your website and you're using muted colors, then that should be consistent across all of your platforms. If you're more of a bouncy, a lighthearted company like ourselves, then you need to present yourself like that on throughout all of your platforms.
I was on your website, and my feeling was after checking out your website was like, wow, these people are a little edgy. They it's a little shock value, a little dark. I mean, I kind of like that. I thought that was kind of.
We're definitely, and as we came together and Viola Media kind of got actualized, we had a lot of conversations about a lot of the facades that you see in the business world. I think a lot of people are scared to roll up their sleeves and just be their genuine, realistic self. And I think that, right, exactly.
Sleeves are all up.
I'm wearing.
I was actually going to wear a black T-shirt today so I could fit in with the cool content creator guys. I was going to do that. It'd be cool, fit in with like you and like the Peter McKinnons of the world,
Absolutely. But it's funny because I think a lot of people, they say to us things like, sometimes you do come off very edgy. Sometimes you do come off very transparent. And sometimes that could be at your own fault, because what if you're turning people away? And, I always try to just tell people that if we're turning people away, then they're not people I really want to work with to begin with. Right. We have very close relationships with all of our clients. I have all of my clients' cell phone numbers. We'll share memes with each other. We'll talk. There's this element of a really personal level that we have with these people that in previous jobs I've never really had that. And I think that it's really lended itself to developing business for our clients, because when you have that level of comfort with people, you're not too scared to open up about your faults or your successes. You know, it's funny. I look back at my previous jobs where
I have to do it. I'm throwing in another
Yeah.
buzzword. Authenticity.
Exactly. No,
It's true.
It really is true. It really is true. And I think that, you know, I've been in previous jobs and previous work environments where if we screwed something up, you know, I'd be sitting at my desk terrified. I'm scared to tell my boss. I'm going to go hide in the bathroom. I'm going to figure out ways to run away and they never see me again. You know, here and in this environment, you know, we have
you're gonna crawl into the bathtub and turn the light off and hope nobody notices you're there.
Exactly. No, but I think, you know, now in this environment, we have this this really, you know, close, authentic relationship.
We celebrate our mistakes. We celebrate our faults.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, my weirdness is what makes me unique, and being unique is special because better to be different than to be good. That's kind of it, right?
Exactly.
And it's okay to make mistakes. You know, some of my best content was actually talking about my mistakes because you could really share a lesson and really have it sink in.
Yeah.
I always tell people the boy who cried wolf. Why did he have to cry wolf 3 times? Why didn't the author just say never cry wolf?
Right.
Because you have to hear it 3 times for it to sink in.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Steal that one.
you could steal that one. Go right ahead. I got tons of stuff I'm stealing from you, man. I love this. Okay. When you do work for for a client, how do you know that your work was successful?
Mm-hmm. You know,
I stumped you. Come on,
yeah. Oh, sorry, I gotta go. No, you know, it depends on the campaign that we're working on. You know, a lot of times we will be in situations where, let's say we're running an ad campaign on social media for our clients. We can do cool things like adding a Facebook pixel to your website. So what that means is everybody who
I probably should have warned you that I'm going to put you in full screen, but
yeah, I was going to say, whoa,
you're probably. I hope I didn't lose the connection. No, you didn't. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go back to full screen. Go ahead. I like a Facebook pixel on the website.
So yeah, so you know, on this note, here's a good tip for you viewers out there. We use something called a Facebook pixel, and what that does, it's a string of code that we can put on your website. So anybody who searches specific search terms that have to do with your industry, or if they visited your website in the past, we can retarget those people on Facebook with your ad, which is really cool. And then we can monitor things like how many people.
This is why every time my wife and I shop for sneakers online,
yep,
our Facebook feed is, you know, filled with sneakers ads. You know, it's right. Exactly. That is really really cool.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for look? There are a lot of do-it-yourself. I am a do-it-yourselfer content creator, so I'm really happy you're still willing to speak with me. Okay, what advice do you have to say to somebody who, at what point should they move up to a digital agency?
Mm-hmm. You know, I think it really depends on where your passions lie. Is it something that you want to monetize and it's something you want to do with other people, or is it just a passion that you're just trying to put yourself out there? I think, you know, what we're seeing a lot, and then obviously, you know, what you're doing, Mitch, which is great, is taking a step back from the salesy approach to present yourself and putting yourself in front of your audience as a thought leader, especially in the LinkedIn space nowadays. I think it's really important. I think, you know, we're kind of leaving the days of, here are my products and services. Here's my 1-800 number. Call us today. You'll, you know, this, that, and the third. And people are starting to recognize that, you know, the better way to make sales is to give people valuable pieces of information, make people think, make people, you know, value your opinion and trust you.
Attraction marketing, right?
Yeah. And that's
top of mind awareness
like this. Right. You know, and doing that with content like this and giving people that level of trust, there's no better way to sell yourself than that.
Right. Give value. And when you're done giving value, find more value to give. Because it's about giving value.
Right.
People are not necessarily going to take your value and do it themselves. They just realize that you're a value, and when they're ready to use you, they'll call you.
Right.
That's what I think. Any advice you give to an aspiring do-it-yourself or content creator?
Sure. And I will take this quote directly from Jessie Viola. we talk about a lot that there's new phones, there's new cameras, there's new equipment, things are easier, things are more accessible, but you can never commoditize good ideas. If you're a creative person and you have good ideas and you have an infectious personality and you're confident and you're passionate about what you do, then start creating content and I guarantee you people will watch it.
Now, what if you don't have a bombastic, flamboyant personality? And what if you don't think you're particularly creative? I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk always says you don't have to just create, you could document. You don't have to be the person jumping out of your skin because you're so excited to be on camera. Sure. You could just say, give value.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I would say that, not so much, and you're right. If it's not you and you're not the one who you're positioning yourself in this creative environment, then figure out a way to tell a damn good story and tell it in the most authentic way possible.
Okay, we're going to do something a little different now. Okay, we're going to do lightning round.
Cool.
And just so everyone knows, when we do lightning round, I did not tell Joey what I'm going to ask him. He has no idea. We're just going to do lightning round, and this is just quick phrases or sentences or questions. Give a quick answer. If you feel you want to elaborate, go ahead. But this is meant to be kind of a quick pace, which means we're at the end of our time together. So before we begin, let's do a little graphic. All right, the lightning round.
That was startling.
I feel so. I feel so cool right now. Okay.
All day.
Let's go with the word. Just tell me your quick thought. Influencer.
Somebody who's really cool.
Okay.
Somebody really fun.
All right. What's your favorite camera?
I love Canons. Even though we do use a lot of Sonys here, I do love Canons.
Okay. I use Canon as well. Right now I'm on a Logitech Brio, but I use Canon. How did you meet Jesse Viola?
I met him at an award ceremony, actually, called the Long Island Digital Awards, where we were presenting projects, and I watched a really awesome video he did, and I was super inspired by it, and I just knocked on his door and begged him for money, and I told him that I would let his family go if he gave me a paycheck, and I did.
Okay, I love that. What are the most common metrics that you use to measure success?
Click-through rates to your website, conversion rates, which are how many people actually filled out forms and contacted our clients, and impressions, how many people have seen your content. Okay.
Who are your favorite, let's say, favorite 3 influencers / YouTubers / social media people?
Can I give you one that I hate?
Yeah, definitely.
I hate Gary Vee, and I know everybody out here likes him, so don't hate on me for it. But I do dislike Gary Vee. Another one that I do love, David Paul K, is a Manhattan artist that I'm very inspired by. Follow a lot of his stuff. And I follow a YouTuber called Nexpo who makes really well-produced conspiracy videos, which sounds crazy, but he actually is very well articulate and they're super entertaining, even though I don't believe them. But those are that's my 2 that I like and one that I hate. So yeah.
Okay. Weirdest project that you've worked on?
The weirdest project that I've worked on.
Strangest, most unique. It doesn't necessarily have to be like weird, just
sure.
This is a PG show, so
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I mean, this is a little long-winded, but I do have I worked on a documentary which is actually available on Amazon and Shudder right now, with a team of people, which was about the second Nightmare on Elm Street movie. The main character in the movie was a closeted gay person in the 80s. And when the movie came out, he was kind of exploited and forced out of the closet, I guess you could say. and he ran away to New Mexico, and the documentary actually follows him 25 years later and his new experience. It is called Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, so make sure you guys check that out on Amazon.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Advice for the beginner video content creator. Okay.
YouTube tutorials all the way. You can sit in school for 4 years and learn how to edit, or you can sit on YouTube and have your peers teach you, and it's just as effective. Not to discredit school, but you know,
you're giving away my secret right there, buddy.
Right.
Do you ever use like do you ever help people grow their YouTube channels?
You know, it's not something that I've really ventured too much in. We do promote a lot of our clients' YouTube vlogs on there by paying for. You can actually, if you go into the Google Ad Center, that's where you can pay to have your YouTube videos promoted. So when you land on the YouTube homepage, you can see the video in the feature, and it'll help you raise views and things like that. So we'll dabble in that a little bit, sure.
Okay. So one more thing.
You start on the time you do
the lightning round is over. I just need an excuse to do the lightning round one more time. You really showed me the money today.
Show me the money! Trying to make that cheddar. That's what we do over here.
Okay, sorry about that. How can people reach you?
You guys can visit our website at www.viola.media. Give us a call at give me 1 second here because I got a phone number.
You're gonna give a phone number? I know who uses phone numbers. It's all email.
That's why I don't even know our phone number because I'm like, who calls anymore?
Visit our website. On social.
Yeah, exactly. Follow us on Instagram, Viola Media. Follow us on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, the Joey.mp4. Reach out to us, hit me up, talk to us, and we'll see how we can help. Or just check out content stuff.
Okay. Do you think Jesse is going to give you a little ribbing about you not knowing the phone number to Viola?
He probably will, but he'll get over it.
You know what? We've gone on for a long time. He probably won't even watch it this far.
All right. He'll probably sleep on the couch by now. He doesn't want to listen to me talk for this long.
All right. Listen, I want to thank you so much, Joey. It's been a pleasure. And I look forward to meeting you actually like in person one of these days.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. We'll talk.
All right. I'm going to end the broadcast now, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.